Hello and welcome to the Comrade Coven, a place for community where we explore healing, magic, otherworldly mysteries, plant medicine, and more. I'm your host, Rachel, and I'm so grateful the universe brought you here today. On today's episode, we will be discussing facing our inner demons, speaking our truth, and the rising collective consciousness. And this week's episode was inspired by watching K pop Demon Hunters with my niece and nephew. I started drawing so many powerful truths from the underlying message as the story unfolded. And I'm just always grateful for storytelling. I think a lot of messages for adults and overall messages for humanity are hidden within the stories in the movies and TV shows that we watch. And there's a campy, fun soundtrack. Kids love it. It's unique, it's original, it's animated, great soundtrack. So I just wanted to speak out today regarding I watched it several times and I just kind of started to recognize there were so many beautiful messages and truths that were being told. And I wanted to discuss those and kind of break down some of those in our episode today. I love pulling the hidden truths and meanings behind film, even breaking down scene to scene from the colors to the shadows that are being used. But I was really touched by this story and its ability to weave together the fabric of so many different aspects of the shared and individual human experience. So, with that, today we'll jump into segment one, which is facing our own inner demons. And I'll give a quick background kind of on what the story is if you haven't seen the movie. So, in this movie, the main characters are musicians who are three teenage girls. They are beloved by their fans. They are singing songs of courage and hope to help drive back a powerful demon force that they fight against. The joy and happiness of their music and when they use their voices and sing their songs, it strengthens the Hun Moon, which is a invisible but present barrier that keeps the demons out of their world. So when their fans are happy, when they're singing their songs, when they're using their voices to speak out against the darkness and speak light and truth, that is raising the vibration, that is raising the frequency, that's raising the strength of the Hun Moon, which we'll get into a little bit later in the rising collective consciousness section of the podcast today. But the strength of the Hun Moon, it keeps the demons from entering their world and feasting on the souls of humans. And in the movie, the main character of Huntrix, the girl band who is the main characters, Rumi's part demon. So she finds out at a young age, she's known this her whole life. And many of the movie's main themes are focused on not only them fighting demons and trying to fight back against this evil that they're fighting against, but also fighting against herself and keeping the secret from the world and feeling shame that she has these scars that show that she's a demon. And the main demon, who is using shame, self hate, and depression, all kinds of different ways to keep his power over these demons that are under his control. And we see this really in Rumi's opposite, the opposite lead, who is Jinu. And he made a mistake. He sold his soul to the devil. And throughout the movie, we see Guima controlling him by sending low vibrational frequencies of self hate and shame, sending memories to him, just constantly reminding him of his mistakes and keeping him in that very low vibration of shame. And I see that a lot in the correlation of how we as human beings carry shame. That's the lowest vibration that a human being can sit in, and some of us are sitting in these low energies, these low frequencies, sometimes for years. And yes, as someone who has certainly struggled with anxiety and depression for most of my life, we are truly and certainly affected by our medical history. But there are also very real evils that exist in our world. And I did discuss some of this on episode 12 with Fat Cat Magic. We talked about building protections and building our own personal barriers up against these types of energies. And these entities can attach to us. For some of us, many years of dealing with depression, anxiety, suicide ideation, these can very much be the result of dark, negative psychic entities that have attached themselves to us, to our energy, and essentially they are sucking out of our soul, sucking out our soul from our bodies, keeping us in these low vibrational frequencies. So I know for me that the daily protections that I've done since I took that protections course have really helped me. And again, with Wima's control and utilizing with every demon under his control that he's made a deal with or that have, given their power to him, he is consistently using and weakening them by flashing memories or reminding them of their shame and their guilt. So after the group of demons decides that they're going to start a boy band to rival the success of Huntress and take the energy back from their fans, that way they can weaken the Hun Moon and have easier access to the souls. The souls start getting taken, and the group of demons, they're weakening everyone, and finding success in using these lower vibrations and this energy to collectively take the energy from the positive, which is Huntrix, and pull it their way to weaken the Hun Moon. And as the movie plays out, eventually Rumi's secret is exposed and everyone knows. So with that, we'll move into section 2, which is speaking our truth and finding the light. So Rumi eventually does get found out. Her scars become visible and everyone finds out that she is a demon. And yet by this point in the movie, she is so tired of hiding. She's so tired of running. She's so tired of not being able to speak her truth that when she finally is able to, she wants acceptance. She wants to be accepted. And initially there is some heartbreak on behalf of her friends who are upset that she's been keeping this secret from them their whole life. And it is because of her ability at the end of the movie to face and accept her shadows that she is actually able to turn the tide of everything that's gone on throughout the entire film with the weakening of the Hun Moon and losing their ability to work together, the secrets that are trying to be exposed, they've now been exposed. And she has the ability now to say, this is where I am, and speak her truth. And it's because of the fact that she is part demon that she is able to have the strength when everyone else falls prey and falls under the spell of Guima. She is able to speak her truth and sing her song and open up. And as she's speaking and singing and walking and taking back her power in her own words, she's able to wake up the other two demon hunters who are under the spell as well. And as they wake up and they all start to collectively join their voice, that energy slowly starts to drive back the darkness. And I think it's a powerful metaphor. Right now, we are in the middle of a lot of crazy things. We've gone up and down, back and forth, and I think for a lot of us, sometimes it feels like, when is the other shoe going to drop? But we've also seen the miraculous power of what happens when we speak our truth and we speak together. More and more people are waking up. More and more people are coming together and building into their community and paying attention to life outside their four walls. And I think there is so much beauty to the fact that so many of us are waking up right now. So many of us are speaking our truth. And so I encourage you to boldly go into that dark night, speak your truth, say what you have to say, put yourself out there, because ultimately it is in speaking our truth that we find others who resonate with those messages, and we find others in the collective who want to do this work with us. And we have no way of finding that if we aren't speaking out and we aren't stepping outside of ourselves and our current moment. And this is a call to you to seize the moment. Fight back together. Start singing your song. At the end of the movie, the Hun Moon reappears as they embrace and they join together with their song in that fight. We feel like we're one person. We feel like we can't do anything alone. But I promise you that you matter. that the things that you are speaking out, the ways you're showing up for yourself, your family, your community, all of it matters. And as we start to work together and we all combine our voices and we see this energy shift, we see powerful things happening in our conscious collective. And so with that, we'll move on to section 3, which is the rising conscious collective and the collective consciousness. And in the movie, the strength of the Hun Moon is dependent on good energy versus evil energy being the predominant force. And seeing the Hun Moon throughout the movie rise and fall as different things happened. In one moment it's strong because the fans are happy and Huntrix is on top of the world, and the next it's falling because evil has taken over and permeated. And I just want to remind you all right now that even when things feel dark, when things feel bleak, when we feel like we are one person and we can't possibly go on any further, I promise you, with the collective, we are all feeling this way, and yet we are seeing the energy rise. We are seeing people taking their power back. We are seeing so much beauty continue to evolve in our world. People stepping up and stepping out to help each other. Despite all the negative, despite the terror, despite the things that should be keeping us down, we continue to rise. And I encourage you, as the timeline continues to shift and we as a collective continue to pour our good energy into love, into the things that we feel matter in our world, go and light up your community, light up your corner of your community. You may not be able to change the world, but I promise you, you can light up your community. So speak your truth, sing your song, find those who are resonating with your message and who want to speak that song with you. And remember that none of us are out here on our own. If you have any interest, the 2 songs that really spoke to me and were very powerful, they're very pump up, get your jam, go get it. The song Golden and the song This Is What It Sounds Like. And thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of information about K-pop. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a phenomenal, wonderful movie. Great for the family, great messages. And let me know, did you see any of the parallels that I was able to draw? Did you find that you were also seeing those things when you watched it? And what were your thoughts on the movie? If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Comrade Coven, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your week.